I'm Andy Jones. This is The Leisure Show, premiering in May in Richmond, Virginia at the Black Iris Gallery. And this is featuring mostly artwork that was taken during quarantine. I wanted to keep myself busy, so I did a lot of tabletop studio photos. I'm not much of a studio guy, and this is a good learning experience. The first one that kicked off the whole idea was this old Civil War poker game. I collected artifacts and replicas, and I wanted to recreate what would it look like if you were sitting down playing poker in the Civil War. And I talked to historians and experts, and I had a lot of things that I bought that ended up not being accurate, so I had to pull those out. The entire picture is lit with candlelight, so it's a 30-second odd exposure with just the candlelight, and then I took one quick picture of the flame and dropped that in, but otherwise it's 100% candlelight. And we thought, while you're here, come around here a little bit, I set up some of the props from the poker game so that people that come to the gallery can sit down and get like a picture of them playing old-timey poker. I thought that'd be kind of fun to kind of engage. The poker chips, the dice and dominoes, this bottle, those are all era. Pocket watch, the cards, the money, that's some replica stuff. We've got some of the old-timey girlfriends that they're playing with. So on the theme of the Civil War, I actually shot this photo right before quarantine. I was on a business trip. We were in Gettysburg. This is Seminary Ridge. And I wanted to get a picture of the Milky Way with a cannon. And it turned out to be a big Pokemon hotspot. So all night long, people would be driving through this shot. And I eventually just gave up and said, I'm going to embrace it, and would wait for them to leave and get their brake lights. And I kind of like, this is one of the few pictures that has nothing to do with games, except now it does, it's about Pokemon. So one of my favorite things is Star Wars. I really want to get into Star Wars. So I've got several of these action figure photos. Really spent a lot of time trying to recreate how the studio looked. Kim Simmons, the photographer for Kenner, had a look, and it's what got me into toy photography so long ago. So I wanted to have, I didn't want it to look like it was nature. I wanted it to look like it's a toy, it's a catalog, it's something that you want to buy. My favorite prop in all of movie history is the lightsaber. And when I think of a lightsaber, I think of probably something like Bespin, where you've got the gray, orange smoke. This was all dry ice and an orange flash from below. And then, still continuing the Star Wars theme, this never existed. I was trying to make a realistic looking catalog shot for a set that never existed. So I put it together and tried lettering it. And there's a customizer that makes custom versions of the behind the scenes film crew. They have these distinctive parkas. And so I thought it'd be fun to do a play set that looked like they were filming Empire Strikes Back. So when it comes to prop replicas, one of my favorite things is the call to action, and a prop that gets the reluctant hero to get started on his journey. So the lightsaber is obviously the #1 call to action prop. You know, Luke did not want to go to Alderaan. He did not want to learn about the Force. He didn't want to go with Obi-Wan. And the lightsaber was what kind of got him in the mission. It is such an iconic prop that they recycled that and made it the call to action for Rey in Force Awakens. So when I think of the lightsaber, I think of it with the orange smoke or in the snow when Luke was upside down in the Wampa Cave. So I wanted to kind of recreate that eye-popping image. Continuing on with the call to adventure, my favorite contemporary action movie is Bourne Identity. He wasn't looking for adventure, he's just trying to figure out who he was. He's thrust into this adventure with a bag full of passports and money, and he has to go on this crazy adventure. It took a long time to get all these prop replicas. It's very difficult to get passports and fake money in America, but I did it. Going along with that theme, I've got these two smaller pieces. This is my friend and model, Lily. She had a cool 60s spy look. So we took some pictures around Embassy Row with the burn bag from Bourne. Next favorite call to action, call to adventure, is the Goonies map. Now, Mikey was not a reluctant hero. He could not wait to get out there, but he had to convince his brothers and his buddies to come along. And when he found a pirate map and the doubloon, he was able to get them to all go on the adventure. So these are various props. I actually owned this Mad magazine that he was reading. It's the marble bag that we had. That's Mouth's Spanish English dictionary, the baby roof. So I did want to, like a picture that said, look, here's the Goonies. You know, you kind of look at it and go, oh, look, there's the map. Oh, look, there's the baby roof and the inhaler and the balloon and all that stuff. Continue on my props and stuff. I'm going to start with this one. Love 1989 Batman. NECA just came out with the Batarang. And I got a prop newspaper that the Joker read when he says "Winged Freak terrorizes." I've got a replica of the gas mask that he gave to Vicky Vale at the museum, and the Joker playing card with the bullet hole in the cheek. So I wanted a scene that kind of was, what do the police see when they show up right after Batman took off? So the money is still flying, you know, there was a struggle. One little tidbit, this yellow handkerchief is from the set of Dark Knight Rises. I was in the crowd in the football stadium when Bane blew it up, and they gave us all yellow handkerchiefs to wave in the air. So thanks to my buddy Joe for getting me into that. And going along with that one, this is my favorite Toy Biz 1989 Batmobile. I got a micro fog machine to use in my studio, and I love it. And it just makes everything look a little bit more dramatic. So that's the Batmobile. Playing along with toys. Whenever I go on travel, I bring a Playmobil guy with me, something kind of appropriate for the scene. So this is my Centurion in front of the Colosseum in Rome. When I took this picture, there was a mom standing right behind me. She said, "My son is too nervous to ask, would he be allowed to take a picture of your guy?" I thought that was hilarious. So there's a little boy that has a copy of this picture that he took himself. I started off doing this because when I went to Rome, went on other trips, my son was really young and he would not care about travel pictures. So I thought if I brought one of his toys and took pictures of that everywhere I went, then maybe he'd then be interested in the pictures. And I've just continued doing it ever since. And speaking of my son, this was one of our quarantine projects. Playmobil just came out with the Back to the Future line. It looks fantastic. So during quarantine, we went to a bank after hours. I'm lying on the ground doing a long exposure. My son drew this with a sparkler. It took 6 or 7 tries, but that's just one shot that he did with the sparkler. Kind of gives you that energy from the end of the movie. So speaking of time travel, this is called the Time Traveler's Poker Game. I love the Old West and time travelers that go to the Old West. So you've got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you've got Back to the Future 3, and you've got the season 5 finale of Star Trek The Next Generation, the one where Data's head blows off. All 3 of them involve poker games in the Old West. So it's like, what if these 3 time travelers all end up playing poker together? So there's clues from all those movies. You've got the 3 aces that Bill got, plus the tickets to Waterloo that they tried to use to get out of the bar fight. You got Billy Kid's Wanted poster, the Ziggy Piggy pin. I've got Data's communicator. This is the actual deck of cards, the same brand that was used in that episode. And then I've got some DeLorean pieces. And a little tidbit, this Buffalo Bills Wild West card is actually from the set of Back to the Future 3. It was on the set. I don't know if it's screened. I don't know if you could freeze frame and actually see it. It was part of the accoutrement that they had to make it feel like the Old West. So the theory is you would hang this picture in your den, and your friends would be like, "Hey, that's a nice poker picture." And then they go, "Wait, why is there a Ziggy Piggy thing in there? Or why is there the Waterloo passes?" And so the longer you look at it, you got some time, you start noticing where all the clues are from. And in that whole fake in the past, I love working with my friend Cara. She's a fantastic model. This is we went to Luray Caverns, and due to COVID, when they reopened, it was self-tours. So if you paced it right, you'd have long stretches of time without anybody there. So that's perfect in dressing up in a skin-tight space outfit and playing with the laser gun. And so some of the pictures really lent themselves. I wanted to add some graphics to it to make it look like an old-time movie poster or an old-time magazine. And then coming over here, these are 2 advertising posters. I didn't do these posters, but these are my photos that were featured in them. So I was really proud to have those in there. This is an event up in Pittsburgh, and then this is, of course, the Monster Truck Jam in Gaithersburg. And then swinging over here, this is our Spider-Man wall. The theory is you get down on it, kind of like this, and you take the picture, turn the picture sideways, it looks like you're climbing up the wall. I thought that might be something fun. Also, if you get a rope, you can hold the rope and punch over, and that's how Adam West would climb the buildings back in 1966. So we had this in a bar party about 15 years ago, and I thought that'd be fun. We're hanging out, having a good time. I've got a slideshow going. This is my Bois corner. Balzac, the Jaws of Death, is my favorite member of Bois, so I had to get a picture of him. Here's Odorous, who Rocky, he passed away a few years ago. And then this is a shot. Blothar is spraying me literally in the face with blood. So that's the last thing you see before you're baptized. And if you come around the corner, here's my autographed Balzac photo. That's my favorite picture of him. And then over in this section, these are all autographed photos. None of these are for sale. These are rock photos that I did where I took the picture, and then I had an opportunity to meet up with them again at a later concert, and they were able to sign it for me. So my favorite one was Chris Cornell. I got that autograph just a few months before he passed away. Cage the Elephant, Bastille, and AWOL Nation. Those were all signed when they were relatively smaller groups. So now they're a bit bigger than when I first started. I guess. And then wrapping it up, we've got my Miss America photos. These are 5, so starting in 2013, I would take pictures at the Miss America competition, and then when I had an opportunity to meet up with them later, they'd gladly sign a picture for me. So those are some of my favorite Miss America girls.